So I've always enjoyed creating content. It's something that I have done for years. I'll get into some of that here in a few minutes. And it's a great way to build something so that you can have something earning you income when it comes time to retire. Hello, my name is John Berry, and we stop playing defense with retirement and start building a future that you can actually control. And building content is one way you can do that. You just press record and you start talking in front of the camera, just like I am doing right now. I want to go way back. You can see just how old I am. Do you remember those BBS boards, those bulletin boards? Now, this was what, back in like 1987, maybe somewhere in there. I actually ran one of these for a short time. And you go back then, that's when I first knew I like to create some sort of content. That's really before the internet was even public. Did you ever do those? If you are old enough, you might remember. And that's where you could only have one person on the computer call at a time. And you would actually have to dial into a computer. If it was busy, it would just keep retrying over and over and over until it was finally available. And a lot of these, they would have limits of, say, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or even less, so other people could get on them. Most of them could only do one call at a time. I ran one myself even, and people would call it, and I only had our voice line as well. So while someone is connected to it, you're hoping no one picks up the phone in the other room or something, and it would mess it all up. But you would go on there and actually, that was some of the first games we played. What was it? Trade Wars or something like that. And you would actually call, you would connect, you would make your move. Then the next day you would call back in and someone else would have called and other people and they would have played. So it was like online gaming, but it was kind of delayed. And they still have some of those today, but they're more internet telnet style. But that's pretty crazy. The BBS bulletin boards, and that was how I first started creating content. You'd set your computer up so people could call in and you could have news on there and things and files shareware you could download and share across other people. From there, you got to the internet, which the internet was in I want to say 1991 is when it finally went public, and you had the HTTPS, or not the HTTPS, then just the HTTP, I believe. We weren't yet to the SSL. But you had to type in the full addresses, go to it. You didn't have the mouse and click things until when AOL kind of come into picture. That started changing a little bit. But the internet actually first started in the late 60s, I want to say. The military had used it before it went public. And I want to say the first word ever sent over the internet was login. And that was in 1969. Of course, that was even before my time, being 50, born in 76. But they started to write login, and when they typed the L and the O, the computer crashed. It still sent it, so the first word ever sent was low, L-O. So pretty fascinating story, but I'm just telling you, I have always enjoyed creating content. From there, I started to build a website later on. This would have been later in probably the 90s, 1993, somewhere in there, give or take. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I remember building the website. And I built like a zoo site or something, like take pictures of animals and put, or, bears, and just talk about weird stuff like that. And it never did anything. And I quit that. But then I started, learning a little more. And then as years went on, started building more and more websites and just kind of practiced at creating content. Then we finally get to where we are today, and you've got YouTube. You didn't have this back then. You've now got a platform that you can literally sign up for free and just go ahead and name it whatever you want. Put your name. This channel is John Berry Project 60. And put your name there. Uh, if you want to talk about fishing, you could make it a fishing channel, whatever, and just start filming. Take your pole out there, start casting in those fish. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. I'd watch it. Or just start talking like we're doing now. Cost you $0. Just start creating you something. It's a great way to get yourself out there. And there is plenty of ways to do it. Now, I am using a software called Riverside, which I will get into more details. We'll do a full episode about Riverside here real soon and how it works. But it is a paid program. You don't need that. You can just basically get the app for free and start pressing a record. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about uh, how I've always really enjoyed creating content. And now I've got multiple channels. This is my latest one that I'm trying to develop in and see where it goes. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm just out here in my backyard by my grill and just hanging out and not worrying about editing, nothing flashy. It don't matter. I am 50. If you're 50, if you're 60, if you're 70, you can start it today. And you might grow overnight. It might take a long time as well, but just start doing it. It's like basically like a lottery ticket every time you put some content out there. It might hit and it might not. Some will hit well, some will not. So that's all I have, and I'll see you guys in the next one.